Hi, thanks for joining me. As you know, we are all connected to energy. Everything is made up of energy. So when we are in the non-physical, before we're born, after we've died, when we return to source energy, we are connected energetically to everything, every other soul, animals, plants. We are connected totally to everything. So it's only natural that when we come into the physical body, that we retain that ability to feel energy. It's our soul that has that ability to feel the energy of other souls. So you notice this when you can walk into a room and nobody's talking and you can feel the energy is tense. You know how you feel like you've just walked into an argument that's just stopped when you've walked into the room, and you can feel that energy. The energy of an argument is heavy. It's a heavy energy, and that's why you can feel it. Sometimes you'll walk into a room and you feel like someone was having a conversation with somebody and they've instantly stopped because they don't want you to hear it. And so you can feel the energy of secrecy, or you just feel like something's off. Sometimes you can walk into a room and feel like people have been laughing because there is a vibrancy in the energy. Can you see how energy holds different frequencies? There's a happiness, or there's a secrecy, or there's an anger, or you see you feel those different energies. And you're not only doing it when people are in your space, you're also feeling energy when you are not in somebody's space. So if you've been a close friend of somebody, or you've been in a relationship with somebody and you've parted ways, so in your physical world, you're no longer talking to them, communicating with them, seeing them on a regular basis, but you still think about them. There is something in your thought that is still thinking about that person. And quite often they are thinking about you, so you're picking up that energy. They might have been going through their day and then something happened and it reminded them of you, so they started thinking about you, and that signal that it's going out into the energy, you're picking up on that, and then you start thinking about them. And you'll know you've done this before, where you've been thinking about someone and thinking about someone, and then out of the blue they suddenly ring you or message you, or you see them. You're out and you see them. Or you'll ring up somebody and they'll go, oh, it's just about to ring you. You're constantly connected to that energy. So when you're in a situation where maybe you were in a relationship with somebody and you really loved them at the time, and the relationship didn't work and you parted ways, but you keep going back and thinking about them. What is it you're thinking about? Are you remembering the energy of the time that you were together? And that was enjoyable. So you're trying to go back to remembering that energy, that feeling. If it was a happy time, it was such a good feeling. And at the moment, you might not have anything happening in your life that's giving you that feeling. So you're reverting back to a time where you did have that feeling, and then you can hold that energy. So it's not always about having to go back to the past or having to go back to that person. It's about recalling that energy that you felt, that feeling that you felt with that person, and then holding on to that, because it's just something that you feel like you need at the moment because you're not getting it in your life. And a lot of the times I will hear people say, when they've had a reading, especially around relationships, that they felt such a strong attraction to somebody and the relationship didn't work out. And they're holding on to that because in their mind they think they can't get that feeling again with somebody else. It was just unique to that one person out of the billions of people on this planet. It was only that one person that could give them that feeling. You can get that same feeling from other people. It's like putting a label on it was only that person that can make me feel that way. No, there is lots of people that can make you feel that way. Are you blocking that for some reason, or is it because that's the person you wanted and they rejected you, so you're just hung up on it has to be that person, and then you're not allowing somebody else to come through? And every interaction you have with different people is going to give you some kind of different feeling. And it's usually it's either something you want to feel at the moment, or it's something you don't want to feel at the moment, and then you dismiss it. But life is constantly feeling energy, connecting to energy of people around you, connecting to energy that people that are no longer in your life, but you're still connected to their energy through thought, connecting to the energy of people that have passed away. They're not around you anymore, but you're still connected to their energy. It's constant. It just doesn't stop. You cannot not be connected to the energy, because it's part of the source that we all come from. We can become disconnected from emotions, but you can't disconnect from the energy. So think about when you're thinking about somebody, is it possible they're thinking about you at the same time? Or are you going over that thought about that person because there was a feeling there that you're holding on to? There could have been some drama around there, and your life might be boring at the moment. So that was dramatic, some drama happened with that person. So if you go back into that memory, it gives you that sense of drama that you're looking for, because life is a bit boring. Or you felt love with a certain person and you haven't got any love in your life at the moment. So you go back to a memory of the energy that was about love. So you can hold on to that, so you can feel better about yourself at the moment. Like, what is it? What are you holding on to about that energy that you don't feel you can create right now with somebody else? Why do you keep going back to that person as the only one that could create that for you? It sort of makes you start to look at things a little bit deeper as to why you constantly go over things. And I find this a lot when somebody has had an argument, especially with a family member or a relationship that ended badly, and they parted without feeling like it had been solved. The door was never closed. It was just like people just went away and you were left with no answers. And that's still churning away inside your energy because you're looking for some kind of answer that you can't find. So by going back into the energy, you're pulling apart all the stories that happened with that person, trying to find an answer for yourself so that you can feel satisfied today. So, you have a think about why you go back into stories that you're trying to resolve something, give you a satisfaction inside yourself so that you feel good. Because if you don't feel good about, like, none of us, our higher selves love everybody. Our higher selves don't hold grudges. Our higher selves don't judge other people. Our higher selves just love. When we get to the other side, we just see everything from a space of love and compassion. The ego feels hurt, and the ego is looking for answers, and the ego is looking for a way to make you feel good. So if you've parted from somebody and it doesn't feel good, there was an argument and it was just, you were ripped apart from each other, your ego self is going to be looking for ways to bring comfort to you. So you'll go over the stories and create stuff in your mind to make yourself feel good, to make the other person look bad and to make yourself feel good. That's your only way of trying to get closure on something. And then finally, when you can move into another area of your life and you can start filling up your own cup with what you need to feel. If you find a new person and they give you love, you'll forget about those thoughts, because this new energy, this new person is giving you what you wanted. You don't need that anymore because you've got something to replace it. And yeah, that happens so much. We are constantly connecting and moving with energy. And when the ego starts thinking about it, the ego confuses everything. Like, why do I keep thinking about this person from my past? They're not in my past anymore, and they did bad things to me, but why do I keep thinking about them? It's just because there is either something that you're trying to resolve, or they gave you a feeling that you're just trying to hang on to. It was good while you're with them, and you don't have anything happening in your life at the moment to fulfill that and replace that, so you'll go back to that situation. When you get to that point of absolutely loving who you are and not needing to judge and not needing to find your happiness in other people or other things, when you can find your happiness in yourself, memories of the past really just stay in the past. You don't visit them. And if you do have a quick visit back to somebody in the past because they're thinking about you and you start thinking about them, it just makes you smile, and you can just say to yourself, well, that was a blessing. And I had a great experience with that person, and I learned so much about myself. And then it's forgotten again, and then you're back into who you are today. You're not living in the past, you're living in today. When you get to absolutely love who you are and know who you are, you don't need to go back and revisit the past and check on people and look on their social media to see what they are up to. It's not needed anymore because you're so content with who you are today. So yeah, it's just, every week I always say there's a theme that sort of plays out, and people contact me, and every week the people that contact me all have a very, very similar scenario playing out in their life. And this week it's been about people getting stuck in the past and finding it very hard to let go of thinking about somebody that did them wrong, or hurt them in some way, or they wanted a relationship to work out and it didn't, and they're just kind of stuck in that energy, and they can't get it out of their thoughts. Are going over and over and over about this person. And you can also, even though you're not speaking to somebody physically and you're connecting, like energetically, your mind is connected to their mind and you're sending telepathic thoughts, you can still repair a situation without being in their life. So you can send love to somebody, you can send kind thoughts to somebody, and they will feel it. They will feel it. So you don't have to be in somebody's life to sort of try and put a closure there. You can do it. You can have a conversation in your mind with them about what you want to say and put your closure that way. So hopefully that helps, and you understand a bit more about how energy is constantly. It's just how we all operate. And I hope everyone has a lovely day. I hope those people that have suffered with the floods in Australia are getting help, finding your feet. The cleanup situation must be absolutely atrocious. I've spoken to a few people that are going through the cleanup stage, and yeah, they say it's very, very difficult, and there is such a mess. And look, we've still got things going on with Ukraine and Russia, and yeah, I sit and wait for my guides to give me something. At the moment it's a bit quiet. It's just kind of a feeling like there's nothing we can do, just to sit back and let this story play out like it's meant to, and do the best we can with ourselves. You don't have to get caught up in that energy. as I was just said before, the energy, if you keep putting energy into problems and reliving problems, you keep them alive. You're keeping that energy alive. If you don't want problems in your life, stop thinking about them. Cut the energy off and think about something you do want in your life. So I don't want to feed into the energy of what's going on to make it expand. I'd rather put my thoughts into something else that's more positive. So I hope everyone has a lovely day today, and I will talk to you soon.